What's up y'all, this is Chubby Trades, and today I'll be showing you how to spot front loading in stocks. So first, what is front loading? It's essentially someone or a group of people accumulating shares prior to a news release that they usually know the results of, or prior to them firing off an alert in either their chat rooms or on Finchwood. So both of the examples I'm going to have for you guys today are from the same person, so I ask that if you know who they are, please don't send hate, because at the end of the day, these guys create an opportunity for a trade that wouldn't have been there otherwise. So I ask that we stay respectful, and let's get into our first example. So our first stock here is BTX, and this has been one of the craziest moves I've ever seen in a stock that's been like this pump and dump type. On April 5th, the original alert was fired off here at 4 p.m. and you can see it just made an absolute huge move in after hours, almost 100%, and it continued on several days after. And if you've been trading this week at all, you know it's been going crazy. I think it hit almost 60 at one point. It's around 50 right now, so it's been on a move. And so when I first saw this hit my scanner, there was a few things I wanted to check to see if this could be a good candidate for a front-loading trade. So first thing I did was I pulled up the daily chart here. So you can see this is April 5th right here. Prior to this, the stock has just been beaten down. And these are usually targets for front loaders, these beaten down stocks, because it offers them a lot of range to move up and to make more profit through their pump, I guess. So you want to ideally look for stocks like these. This was a beautiful chart here. It really based down here, and so a well-timed alert by the dude. Now the second thing I wanted to check after I saw that it was a beaten down chart was the float. So if we pull up the float here, it's a little bit higher than what these guys typically go after here at 35 million shares. Ideally, I'd like to see it under 20 million. But if you know anything about the stock's personality of BTX, you know that it moves pretty thinly, and the spread between the bid and the ask was pretty massive. And if you don't know the personality of the stock beforehand, just check the spread, and if it's wide, it allows it to move up easy. And that's what these guys are really after, is just a quick, easy move, and then so they could sell onto their followers. So, if we take a look right here before close, you could see where the actual front loading happens. If you notice, throughout the whole entire day, there's never been really any volume. Maybe just a few hits here at open, but that's really it. Until we get into about 5 minutes before close, and this is where the first 20K buy comes in. And this is just completely abnormal for the stock. There's no reason for it to get hits. I checked if there was news, there was no news. And so it kind of prompted me to kind of look at this and see what's going on here. And you could see for the next 5 minutes, it get just loaded more and more and more. So he probably accumulated close to around 40, 50K shares before alerting it right here at 4 p.m. And this is what you want to look for. This is the anomaly of front loading right here. You want to look for stocks that just, there's no reason for them to run, no reason for them to move, but suddenly they just get this burst of volume with no reason behind it. You know, there was no news. You know, if you can't find someone alerting it, then that's also a good sign that it could be front loading. You know, you just want to see the random buys there. And if you're not too confident in taking trades like these, I would recommend just take something small. Take about like 100 shares right here, and then see what happens. You know, not all these trades are going to work out, but you get better as time goes on at trading these and recognizing the move before it happens here. Alright, for our next ticker example, we have the stock ELSE. And so this one was alerted on April 7th. At 4 p.m. once again. I mean, this is the same guy, so he has his little style he's got going on here. And so my first scanner alert went off around 9:55, 10-ish, and it was catching the volume here where he was initially loading. And so you can see he took his shares here, and then it just kind of traded sideways, 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 sideways. And then he loaded up his last bit of shares right here before close, and then the alert came out at 4 p.m. And so what kind of give me more confirmation that this was a good trade to take is, once again, I pulled up the daily chart here, and you can see it was April 7th, so right here. Before this, all of it was just kind of sloping down. It came off from its highs, and it was just staying low here. So it had a lot of range to move up. And if we pull up the float here, you could also see that it was pretty low actually, at only 2 million shares. So this was a lot lower than the BTX, so it moved a lot easier as well. And before even this day, there was a few weird anomalies that came up. Like right here, you can see the spike in volume with no continuation after. I don't know if this was from news. I personally didn't see anything, but there could have been, something that came out about it, or if someone on like Finchwood alerted it, but didn't really load it beforehand, or this could have been the guy loading up more prior to this, and he also could have took some right here. This could have also been something else. But regardless, all this kind of just helped confirm to me that this was a decent trade to take, and a really pretty obvious example of front loading in the stocks. So to kind of wrap it up here, 3 things you wanted to look for here are the bottom out beat down charts, right? Because that allows for big range, big moves up. And then second, you're going to want to watch for low float or spready stocks if it's not that low float. This just allows the stock to move up easier, and if it's got that range from the broken down chart, then you're setting yourself up for a big move. And third, you got your abnormal volume coming in with no news. So, right here, and that is essentially the front loading. And a tip here is, when you're seeing these stocks hit your scanner, watch the tape when you're looking at these, because if you see either large block buys coming in, so like 10K shares, 15K shares, and there's no news about it, that could be a sign of front loading. Or if there's just repeated small buys, so like just random lots of 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares, small enough share sizes to be below a block trade scanner, and that's really if they're just trying to hide it and keep it private, I guess, before they go ahead and alert it. And so once again, not everything is going to play out like these stocks, but with experience you'll become better and better at spotting these before they move. Additionally, not every alert will go off at 4 p.m. This is just kind of this guy's style. It could happen at any time, but in my experience, I've seen a lot of stocks go off at 4 p.m. and the 4 p.m. special is a pretty viable strategy. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. It really helps me. And if you're interested in more trading content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And let me know if y'all have any further questions by commenting below. Y'all have a great trading week.